Hey, Kevin here. I'm with Jessie and Bill, and this is their Promaster van that they live in, and I thought it was a pretty cool rig, and the whole thing about Promaster I thought was pretty neat, so I thought I'd interview them.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Tell me about you.
So I'm Jessie, and Billy and I are originally from Boston. We moved out to California about 8 years ago.
Yeah, we lived in Glendale. It was right outside of LA.
And May 1st of 2019 is when we officially hit the road. We worked on the van for about five months.
Yeah, we spent 5 months building this thing. It was like a full-time job for us because we had we gave ourselves a deadline to let our lease run out on May 1st. Was it May 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah, May 1st. So we were like, we kind of deadlined ourselves and we got it done.
So we've been on the road almost 9 months now, full time.
Yep. Loving life.
Why live on the road?
Ooh, so many reasons.
Yeah.
The expenses of renting and bills and things of that nature, we felt really hindered and not free, like we were never going to get ahead,
So you were paying rent?
We were paying rent.
Yeah.
It was very expensive in California, and
Yeah, it was an overpriced studio apartment. It was ridiculous.
Right.
yeah, and we do this. We are outdoor lovers, and we love to meet new people, and we just decided to give it a go.
Yeah, we wanted to experience real life. This is real life right here. That other stuff is all fake news.
Fake news. Who did the build?
The
We
two
both
of
did.
us.
Just yourselves, the whole thing?
Yes.
Yep, the whole thing.
It was just an empty shell cargo van when we picked her up, and yeah, we created our home.
And what did it cost to build? You got any idea what the bottom line is?
Not
Kind of grit in there a little bit.
We have a lot of receipts.
Yeah.
Can't crunch
don't-
the numbers yet.
We have not added
we
them up.
don't have a specific number yet, but I'm guessing it's between 5,000 and 10,000, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, with all materials and everything like that.
That's just the build. That's not the van.
Correct.
Yeah, no, that's not
Right,
bad. Yeah, and I had a lot of experience. I've been a tradesman my whole life, and my main trade was carpentry.
Right.
And I did a little bit of cabinet work and a lot of finish work. So it was like this was a really fun build
I
to
definitely
do.
see your skills in there.
Yeah.
Anything you would do different now that you lived in it for a little bit, like us?
Oh, no.
No.
I
don't
can honestly answer that pretty quickly, and we've talked about this, but we would not change anything about our build.
Yeah.
And how do you earn money on the road?
You want to answer that one?
We trade on the stock market.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do day trade, swing trade, long-term investments. Like we mess around with all that stuff. So if wherever we have reception, we can work online. So
Okay.
we're remote with our jobs.
And living in a van, how much does it cost for you to live a month?
We try to keep a budget, and if we feel like we might go over that budget, we might stick around in a certain area where we're not paying for gas. Obviously, that's a big expense. I would say between $800 and $1,000 on average monthly.
Yeah, that's with everything.
And you think that's living good, or if you had to, could you have sliced that back quite a bit?
We're still tweaking things, but that's living pretty good, and that's affording us a lot of travel.
Is that covering the cost? I don't know if you got a loan on the van, and is it covering insurance and all them yearly things?
Sure.
Yeah.
So insurance, it is paid off. Insurance, food, gas. We don't pay for camping ever, so that's never a question.
Yeah.
It's mainly gas. We like to travel and not stick around a place too long. But if we feel like our budget is being blown, we'll kind of hang out in a place for a bit.
What's the hardest part to living in a van? And don't tell me there ain't none.
Well,
The hardest part about living in a van?
Well, now that you got the toilet in, that's one problem.
oh, that was amazing.
that was the
Yay.
biggest. That was our biggest struggle right there. Was digging holes everywhere. But we eliminated that problem pretty quick.
Honestly, if I'm really truly being honest, I have not found anything to be difficult about living in this lifestyle. We're travelers by nature anyway.
Okay.
Ask me tomorrow. It could change.
All right.
But for right now, really, really happy.
What's
Yeah, maybe, you know what? Maybe the most difficult part would be finding level ground to sleep on.
That's a good one.
That's true.
Yeah, that's probably like the biggest.
I'm an offshore sailor, so I'm used to sleeping holding on to something.
Yeah. Strap on in.
What's the most rewarding part of living in the van?
Oh,
The people.
The people?
The
Actually,
people.
okay.
The people
Yeah.
we get to meet.
Not the solitude, but the people.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the solitude is pretty great
Right,
too.
right.
Don't get me wrong, but we really like connecting with other people.
This has been a fantastic experience to come out here to RTR, part of
RTR.
Yep.
the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous for 2020.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've just met so many people, all walks of life, from different parts of the country, and you know, it's a really great experience.
You know, for me with the my most rewarding part about this is getting my life back. You know what I mean? Because like if you're out there, if you're stuck in the grind,
Right.
it's not your life really isn't yours.
You're a domino. You got one step after the other. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and like people own you. You know what I mean? It's like you know when you're working for somebody, they pretty much own you because you
Right.
got to have that job and you got to maintain
it's all
that
pretty much, cookie
that
cutter.
apartment.
Cookie
Right.
cutter,
Cookie
yeah.
cutter, yeah.
And I found living on a boat that we had to allocate how many clothes we could have and things like that just for room. Do y'all have any kind of setups like that? Like you can have 3 dresses, but you get the 4th, you gotta get rid of one. Right?
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I have my own clothes drawer, but I have pared down quite a bit, and it was very freeing to do that. And
It was
we've done
freeing?
we've done that several times. I've found stuff that I haven't worn, and so I'll go ahead and donate. You know, some of my articles that I just don't need anymore, and
My daughter-in-law's got a shoe collection that would probably take up your van, so I assume you don't have that.
I have a lot of hiking shoes. They're in the back.
Yeah.
They don't take up his space.
I'm all about the stock rotation too. Like if we have markers in the van and we get new markers, throw those other ones out because there's not a lot of real estate to store things in there.
Yeah,
So I'm all
and you're
about
set
that.
up to cruise.
we
A lot
are.
of people living in their sailboats, you walk by the boat and you know that boat ain't never leaving.
Yeah.
You know, they got plants growing on the deck and stuff everywhere. It's like, there's no way in heck they're going anywhere. But
Yep.
And you're what I liked about your van is it's tidy. It looks like you could be gone like that.
Yeah.
We just get up and go, and
Yeah.
it's pretty easy just to tuck things away, stick them in the cabinets, nothing rolls.
Any scary moments on the road?
Oh, you know what? Maybe getting stuck. Like that's always a scary moment.
Getting stuck when no one's around, or
For
Yeah,
5
pretty much.
days.
Yeah. We were buried up to our axle in mud, and we had to.
hoping like hell somebody come by.
Oh yeah, no, we had to jack that thing up about 20 times to lift it up far enough to stick rocks underneath it and then
Right.
wait for the ground to freeze so that we could pull it out. So that's probably the scariest part about living in a van is getting stuck.
Yeah,
somewhere
we have
where
no
there's nobody around.
no true scary moments though. We were prepared. We had all the food, all the water. We were
Yeah.
okay to
Any
be out
problems with
there.
crime?
What's that?
No.
Crime? Law enforcement? Anything?
No, we haven't had the dreaded knock yet.
Okay.
I'm sure that will come.
yeah, and I think that's just a part of it. I really don't feel like I'm a true van lifer yet because I haven't had the knock, you know?
Where do you see yourselves in 20 years?
Ooh,
Damn.
I don't know where I'm going to be later on today, so that's pretty tough.
You haven't thought about it? Like this is a temporary thing, or
No.
right now this is it?
I think
Yeah,
this
right
is
now.
something that we could do very long term, and I never want to. I already am so comfortable that I would never want to be back in that cookie cutter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your rig. It's what year is it?
It's a 2017 Ram Promaster.
Promaster.
Yeah, 2500
2500
with a 159 wheelbase.
And why did you choose it?
Because it was like the midpoint between the shorty and the real long one.
You still
Like-
going after Promaster regardless, though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's square. You know, it's like one of the easier builds out of all the vans that we've seen.
Right.
Because the other ones taper down, so like since it doesn't taper down, we have a lot more room for like bed, sleeping area.
You don't have the drive axle or the drive shaft underneath, so the whole interior is actually lower to the ground.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
That
it's
gives you a heck of a sight more room right by it's right there.
exactly,
Oh, yeah.
and it's front wheel drive, so it's very easy to maneuver. I was a little nervous at first, but I have no problem whipping this thing around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the
And then the-
build.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
In the build, you know, in a small space like this, like inches are like feet in a house. So it's like the more inches that you can pull out of this thing, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah.
I know someone who sailed around the world, and she told me how she could stuff 140 something rolls of toilet paper in this little cubby hole somewhere.
You make it work, you know.
Yep.
And I noticed you got a pretty cool looking sink. Where did y'all find that?
So that is our sink stove combination is made by Dometic.
Okay.
And we wanted the sink stove combo. It's really compact, and when the glass folds down, now we have all the counter room, which is pretty great, and it works. It's perfect.
Okay.
It's pretty great.
And you built your own head, your own toilet.
We did.
Yep. Yeah, we did it in the middle of the desert out in Sedona.
You had enough, and you had to have a toilet. By God, it's time to have it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, because we were shy about it. Like, we were talking about building it as we were doing it.
Right.
But it was like, man, we don't want that stuff sloshing around in here or anything like that. So we built it as an insert just in case it didn't work.
Right.
That because I sleep with my head right next to it, so I'm like, if there's one odor coming out of this thing, we're taking it out. We're gonna burn it in a bonfire. That's it.
But we built it so if there was an issue, that we could just remove the box and have it go back to storage, which is what it was originally.
And it serves as a seat now.
It's a seat.
Yeah.
It's where I sit and work or whatnot. But it's worked out perfect, and we've had it for about a month now, and
it's been
no
beautiful.
issues.
And I
So
like
for
how-
about $150, we now have.
I like how your tabletop slides out from underneath the bed on rollers.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that
thank
was.
you.
And then your drawer for clothes slides out and becomes part of the second bed, correct?
Yeah.
Second bed / couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice, relaxing area.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got well-used space, and I really like that.
Thank
Even
you.
the dog's
She has her own area, yep, and it just slides in and out.
Is there something underneath
And-
her bowls?
Oh yeah, so her
Yeah,
food.
the
So
food stores under
we
the
made
bowls.
sure that we
Okay.
had storage, so make use of space.
That'd be terribly wasted real
That's
estate if
exactly
not.
right. So
Yeah.
all her food,
Yeah.
her toys, things like that go right in there.
Do you have solar on it yet?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah,
How
we
many
have.
watts?
We have 360 watts up there.
Wow. So and what for a battery bank?
We got the Goal Zero Yeti 1400.
Yep.
And it's just we went with that one because it's just a plug and play. It's all self-contained.
That's your only battery bank?
That's the
Yep,
only
that's it.
How
battery.
many amp hours is that?
Honestly, I don't know.
You got
How do
way
we
more
not know?
watts than you need at this time then.
Yeah,
Of solar.
yeah, and
Okay.
we never run out of.
So
Oh.
Yeah, we could go like 5-6 days without sun and still have
And
power
no
in there.
problem.
you're not running your laptops though.
Occasionally we will, but it just depends on the area. When we were in the
Okay.
Pacific Northwest, it was really tough. So
Any other interesting things about your electrical system that you got solar? I mean LED, I
Yeah.
presume.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
got
have
the LEDs. We got LEDs. We got I built subwoofers into the base of the bed.
Oh, did you?
So
Okay.
you can crank the music and like have a rave wherever you
So
are.
y'all ain't missing nothing. Matter of fact, you're probably
Wait.
better off than you were in a park.
we're actually
Oh,
doing
yeah.
really well.
Yeah, because we don't have neighbors knocking on our door to turn the radio down. You know. So
Do you have an inverter, or is that the Yeti? Part of the Yeti?
we do have an inverter hooked up, but it's just one of those cigarette lighter inverters. So
Okay.
it's like a 400 watt inverter. So when we drive, it just gives enough wattage from the same wattage as if you plugged it into a house.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how do you store water?
So right now we have 5 gallons of fresh in the front, 5-gallon gray, and then we have another 7 in the back. So it's about 12
Yeah.
gallons.
12 gallons total when we're
and-
full
Fresh
up.
water?
Yeah.
We could probably bump that up. I also have a 2.5 gallon that I'll fill just for emergencies.
So when I guess your water's under your sink, and when it runs low, you'll fill it up off what you got behind.
Exactly.
behind
Yep.
it? Okay. And you said you got a great water tank for your sink,
We do.
and your head is composting or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. How about a shower? How do you do that? Spin baths?
Well, here it is.
Yeah, there it is right here.
It's right behind Billy.
Oh, there you go.
So we have a
Oh,
foot.
pump. Yes.
Yep, it's a
There it is.
foot pump solar power shower. So we're just sticking it in the sun right now. You
Yeah.
pump it up, build the pressure, and this
Right.
thing works really great.
How many have you measured how much water it takes for each of you to take a shower?
I could definitely take a full-on shower with about a half a gallon of water.
Yeah.
You just realize how wasteful I used to be.
I've got a shower in the bathroom in my motorhome.
Mm-hmm.
But I've rarely been using. I've been using a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle. I punch some holes in, and I can take a shower and still have an inch left over.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's
And washing my hair and everything.
Yep, and
Yeah.
I have a lot of hair, and I can get away with about a half a gallon of water and feel like I took a 15-minute shower.
I could
Absolutely.
stand to get rid of some hair. That's the one thing that slows me down taking showers.
Okay.
Trying to get that shit out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I shaved my head.
Now, how did you insulate it?
We have, so we insulated with the RTR, it's just the foam board.
Okay.
And then we also did rock wool. So, and we did that in all like the crevices. We didn't want any kind of, what should I say?
Oh yeah,
Help me out.
the pink insulation, the fiberglass.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't want fiberglass insulation. Thank you. It's such a small place. We didn't want to breathe that in. So we chose rock wool.
Right.
And
And you said did you say you tried foam, but it swelled up?
so we did. We tried to do the can of spray foam, and 2 seconds later we noted, boop.
Yeah, the great stuff is not great. I mean, when you spray it in there, it's good if you don't have anything pressed up against
It's
it.
not
but
in the cavity.
Yeah,
'cause
it did
it actually bubbled up some of the metal on the side of the door.
There's actually some great stuffs you can get that don't expand as much.
Okay.
Ace Hardware or something like that, and they've actually got it that's rodent proof.
Oh,
So
interesting.
spray it right.
Well,
That's
we
cool.
wish we knew that.
Right.
So we ceased all operations on that and chose to go a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Any special features or anything you want to tell me about before we end the video?
Special features. No, we already covered the bass speakers. The LEDs is a really cool feature. Oh, the three
wait.
drawers in one is a really cool feature.
Yeah.
So we did 3 drawers in one, and it was just like sort of an accident. So we built the kitchen drawer big to fit in that space.
Right.
But when we installed the stove and the sink combo, the drip pan was hanging down a little bit lower than the drawer was, so we had to notch out the drawer.
Right.
So instead of just keeping it notched out, what we did was we partitioned it, and then we used that as one drawer. Then we have our silverware drawer, and then when you push that back, the junk drawer
So
is
it just
underneath.
slides back to open up. And then we
Yeah.
also have a refrigerator. It's also Dometic. It's like a chest.
Okay. With the compressor.
Yep, it's pretty amazing. And then we
Yeah.
chose to keep our bed as a platform as opposed to turning that from a living room situation back to our bed. Plus, one, I'm lazy. I don't want to have to do that every day. And then two, the reason why we kept it as a platform is now it gives us all that storage under our bed in the back doors. So,
Right. You do storage.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I really like your build.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Kevin.
Thank you for letting me
Appreciate it.
interview y'all.
Sure,
Yeah,
thank
thanks for
you.
interviewing us.
All right.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it.